Let's start with assignment number 3. As you can see on your assignment number 3, you need to create a box in here, a box that it is going to have 3 different components. Okay, so I am going to provide you with some pointers on how you can do that for the assignment that you need to create. All right, so the first thing is to have your Fusion 360 available. You're going to open up a part in here. We're going to create 3 objects, and then we're going to convert that to be a assembly. I am going to show you how. You can start as a part or as an hybrid design or as an assembly design. Let's explore the part design. That's what you know right now, and we're going to create a new one. And then you will need to create your box, right? If you see the box that you have in here, there it has all the dimensions that you need in order to create it. The width, it is going to be 100. The length of the base is 70, and the height, it is going to be 20. Or if we're combining these, that should be 40. So I am going to select the right plane in order to create the box that we need to work with. All right. So in this case, we are going to make sure that we are following. Let me make this one a little bit smaller. We are going to create the different height, width, and base in order to create our design. All the dimensions are in millimeters, so we're going to create a sketch on the right plane, and you will need to create your box, right? Again, this is just different pointers that I am going to give you. You can create your own. So the height, if we are telling that this is going to be 20, the whole height that I am going to use is 40. And then the length, that is going to be the base that you can see here, this base, and that is going to be 70, right? So we're going to place in here 70. Okay, so my sketch is fully defined. I can finish my sketch now. Then I am going to extrude. The extrusion value, it is going to be 100, as you can see from here. So, but in this case, I am going to use a symmetric approach on the distance. The whole distance, that is going to be 100. Okay, if you're using this, that will be the double, because it is taking 100 from the profile plane outwards, right? So it has to be the total length. In this case is 100, as you can see here. So I am going to click on OK, and I am going to say this is a new body, right? Then we're going to hollow this body that we see here. Be careful that you're selecting the whole body and not the faces. If I am clicking here, I am selecting just the face, and that face is going to disappear. Right? So when I am selecting the whole body, I am going here to the body, and then I am going to select 3 millimeter, and I am going to click on OK. So it seems that nothing happening here, but we just shell the body, right? How do we know? Well, if I do an inspection analysis on the right plane, you can see that now it is hollow, correct? So let's keep that in mind. Right, after that, we're going to create the fillets. It has to be 10. I will create a fillet for this one and for this one with a value of 10. There you go. And I want to do exactly the same, but in the inside, right? For the fillets. So how can I create that? Again, let's try to do the section analysis on let's try it here at this level, right? And I'm going to click on OK, and then we will do the fillets inside. I want to create the 15 millimeter fillet, this corner, and then this corner, and that is going to be 15, and I am creating that fillet inside of my shape. I can now get rid of that analysis, and then we're going to split the object. The body that we want to split is this one. The splitting tool, it is going to be my top plane, and I am having now two different bodies. Probably you don't see that right now because I have my visual styling shaded, but if I am changing my visual style to shaded with visible edges only, you can see here that we have two different bodies, right? You can see that from here. So we created the down lid and the top lid on here, and we will need to go now to how to create the channels and then the pin that it is running inside of my object, correct? For that one, I am going to create a new sketch on the right plane, and I am going to create a circumference that will have a diameter that says oh my god, sorry about that. It says height times 0.75. So if we're going here to circle, we will try to create in here a height which is 40 times 0.75, right? We're doing that, but there are some more measurements here, right? We have a 15.75 to the edge. We're going to do that from the circumference to my edge here. That is going to be 5.75. And this is very important because if I am zooming this in, you will see that there is a clearance in here. They are not tangents. It is not touching in here the edge with the vertical edges on my box. And I need to do something else. I will need to align the center to the center in order to make sure that that is fully constrained. Some other thing I am going to do is I am projecting the edges, this edge and this edge, right? So I will have some geometry coming in here, and from the end point I will go to my tangent point, and I am going from my end of the edge to my tangent point. You can see that here, right? There's some more thing we have to do. We need to close this intersection in here. So from my coincident point, I will go all the way till I am touching at 0 degrees, right here, my line. Okay, so my sketch 2 is fully constrained so far, but I am going to do something else in here. I am going to create the internal diameter. First, I am going to create the internal channel. So the circle, it is going to be here, and the size for that channel is diameter divided by 2. So I can create in here a diameter divided by 2. I have the internal channel, and then I have an offset of 0.6. I will select this one and have an offset of minus 0.6. So I have the clearance for the pin that will allow the leads to rotate, right? Because we're having a clearance in here related to the pin. And my sketch is fully constrained, so I am good to go. That's what I got so far. If I see on a isometric perspective, that's what I am having so far. Okay, now that I have everything in a single body, I am going to change my material. I am going to make this out of plastic. Right? Let's go with the generic plastic. You're going to find that pretty much almost at the end. Plastic, just drag it here, and then we're going to change the appearance of our part. We are going to look for the body components, and we are going to go for paint and powder coat smooth, and then red. So we're painting everything all right as the instructions here on the assembly that you're getting in here. Probably you're going to see here PLA. PLA is a form of plastic used for 3D printing. So if you're putting that on plastic, that will be fine, acceptable for now. All right. Okay, so I need to do different extrusions now. I am going to create the first extrusion on the upper part, right? Notice that it is just half of this and the whole circumference. How am I going to create this extrusion? Well, if you see your drawing in here, you will notice that here on this B detail, there is a 0.5 distance, right? So how am I going to create that? I can create that with a offset. I am going to place an offset of 0.25 because I am using only half of it. So you can see now in here, if I am clicking on the origin, you can see that I am just displacing this 0.25, and I will go not a distance, but I will go to an object, right? And the object I am going to go against is this wall here. So I am creating the whole thing. For now, I am going to create a new body, because if I am clicking on join, probably I'm exposing to join this channel with this lead and the down lead. So I need that to be a new body for now. And I am going to do exactly the same at the bottom. Right? So if I activate my sketch again, I will do a new extrusion. Now the down part, the circumference, I need to create a different offset, right? This time is going to be minus 0.25 because I am going to the opposite direction. And the distance to the object, it is going to be exactly the same to this object here. And I want that to be a new body for now. And there you go. I created the channels, right? But I am having in here 4 different bodies. We don't want that. We just want to have 2 bodies. So we're going to combine. We're going to combine this and the channel here. That is going to be body 1. And we're going to combine the down lead with this channel here, and that will be body 2. And I can rename them, right? I can call this down, and I can call this up. And I am having the different, I am going to turn on my sketch, and I am having my box coming to B so far, right? This is one body and this is another body. But we are talking about components in here, how we are going to do that. Well, we decided to go with a part design, but I can edit this and say, well, I don't want this to be a part any longer. I want this to be an hybrid, and I can convert that. So these 2 bodies, if I am selecting that one, shift up, then right click, and I can create components from bodies. Look at what is going to happen here. Create components. Now I have an assembly, and I have component 1 and component 2. So by using my second sketch, I am going to make one of these disappear for now, and I am going to create an extrusion, right? The extrusion for the pin, I am going to use the central circumference that I have here. That central circumference needs to be all the 100 plus 0.35. So we're going to do that. I am going to select this, and I am going to tell you're going to be 50 plus 0.35. So if I am letting this show and I go from my top perspective, you will notice that I have an extra offset in here. Those are the 0.35 that we were mentioning in here on our drawing. And I can work now with the end of this pin here, right? But I created a body in here. So I can convert this to a component, or I can try to create from scratch my extrusion. Right? From this sketch I will extrude, right? This one is 50 plus 0.35, but I don't want that to be a new body. I want that to be a new component. And you will see in here that it is a component number 3, no more bodies up here, right? So I can work at the level of this component. To work at the level of the component, I need to click on this little sphere circumference circle that you see here. So I am working at the level of this component only. And I am going to create now at the end of this face a circumference. The circumference needs to be 17.28. And we are going to extrude that with a value of 4.9. Right? So select this, select the center as well, and it has to be 4.9. After that, we're going to create a chamfer. The chamfer is going to be 2 millimeters at the outer edge, 2 millimeter. And lastly, we are going to mirror everything that we created. Right? What are we going to mirror? The features. We're going to mirror this, the chamfer, right? The plane is the end of this rod, and we need that to be adjusted, and this is part of the component. It's just a solid body now, right? If I am hiding now my component, you will see that I am having in here body 1 and body 2. So probably we can try to make this exactly the same, and the only way we can do this exactly the same is if we are joining those two bodies, and now we have only one body for that pin. See that? We have component down, up, component 3. We're going to rename this pin, and this is what we're having. In order to go to my assembly, I need to click on the upper circumference of my assignment 3. I can save my work right now under my folder, and I am going to call him assignment 3. Correct? Now I have my box with all the dimensions that I am looking for. Now I am going to make this work, make this open, right? So how can I do that? Well, I can right click on this one, and I am going to ground this element. Then on the assemble, I am going to create a rigid group. The rigid group is going to be between the pin and the down component, right? And then we're going to create as built joint, which is going to be a revolute between the pin and the upper one. When we are going to select the snapping point, my snapping point, it is going to be the sketch, the center point of that sketch, right? And I will need to adjust the minimum and the maximum. I need that to open 180 degrees. So if I am clicking on OK, this box is going to open 180 and close to 0, and I cannot go beyond any boundaries, right? So that's the exercise for assignment number 3. It is it will take you some time to create all this, so please check on the assignment what is the due date, and all the best. Good luck. You only need to deliver the assembly. For now there is no drawings, so that's why I am not giving you an extreme amount of time to deliver, but you can follow the instructions now. Thank you and all the best.